You stand before the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms!
Spoiler alert. One of the best episodes in the second season of House of the Dragon, Episode 7, provides a sense of momentum for the remaining episodes. The second episode of the Game of Thrones prequel, Dance of the Dragons, has been a slow burn. With the exception of Episode 4, the show's content is to progressively build up its plots and character arcs, and that is not a criticism. Things come to life in Season 2, Episode 7, which is primarily about claiming dragons and lays the groundwork for an explosive conclusion.
Naijot Maziz Vermitos.
Welcome to Movie Spy. Here be dragons. The Dragonseeds story really delivers. The goal of this segment is to locate even more people who may be able to ride the unclaimed dragons in the Targaryen Civil War, in continuation of the storyline of Seasmoke's new writer from Season 2, Episode 6. The plot features strong character development, violent action, and pure fantasy moments. It makes good on some of the early choices, such as having Hugh and Ulf begin at King's Landing instead of the book. And crucially, it maintains the focus on significant characters like Rhaenyra Targaryen and Jace Velaryon. I adore how this episode addresses Targaryen's notion of exceptionalism and the very essence of the dragons themselves, right from the opening scene when Rhaenyra confronts Adam of Hull. First up is Vermithor, who demonstrates why he is known as the Bronze Fury by tearing through several aspirants before forming a link with Hugh.
The dragon, named Vermithor.
Next is Silverwing, who forms a bond with Ulf, in fascinating ways that have not been discussed as much. It delves deeply into how little is actually known about them and how complicated, wondrous, and mystical they are, in addition to how strong and frightening they are. Emma shines in this situation once more. Even though they do not say a word, they manage to say so much. The scene when Rhaenyra watches with the strength, confidence, and anger of a dragon in the conclusion is a fantastic example. Another shot, taken about 10 minutes earlier, shows Vermithor going crazy and effectively captures the tragedy of the situation. Harry Collett, who plays Jace in his strongest performance to date, also deserves a great deal of appreciation. His sequence where he claims to be Harwin's strong son is heartbreaking and impactful. Riverlands by Damon is a good story, but hopefully the visions are over now. Damon's story needs a change of pace. Though I have mostly enjoyed it, Damon Targaryen's Harrenhal visions and general storyline have drawn criticism, which is understandable. There is undoubtedly a big payout this week. Even though Oscar Tully surprised me by contributing a lot of it and Archie Barnes is holding his own against Matt Smith, Damon finds enormous satisfaction in this moment, particularly because he is not in charge, which is a position he is unfamiliar with apart from his visions and finds unsettling. It also serves to refocus his story in the Riverlands. Although I thought Paddy Considine's reappearance as Viserys in Season 2, Episode 6, was entertaining, I do not think it was essential to rehash that this week. Although this does not add much and covers very familiar ground, I would have liked to have that time spent with Damon in real life or to lengthen other sequences. Nevertheless, it is short enough not to negatively impact the plot too much. With any luck, that will be the last of his visions, since Damon's story coming to pass will enable him to move on with his life. King's Landing is less focused yet still entertaining, less Team Green, but it still functions generally. With the greater emphasis on Dragonstone this week, there is not nearly as much drama in King's Landing, but what we do get is still excellent overall. As Alicent Hightower, Olivia Cooke is fantastic once more, and I really enjoy her moment at the lake. Although it may have simply been omitted, it reveals a great deal about the character. It aptly illustrates her attempts to purify herself, building on her statement from earlier in the episode that nothing is clean, while also attempting, for the first time, to experience a sense of liberation. The developing relationship between Larry Strong and King Aegon Roman II Targaryen, which has included fantastic sequences for the past few weeks, is something that I truly enjoy. Tom Glencarney, one of the MVPs of the season, can now give a better performance. Therefore, I am happy that Aegon is becoming more involved and conscious with time. These exchanges and schemes strongly remind me of the events in Game of Thrones. Therefore, it is impressive that House of the Dragon comes out looking good in this comparison. Overall, there are a few minor complaints regarding this episode. It is doubtful, at best, how much time and distance Aemond and Beggar spent pursuing Ulf and Silverwing. Conversing with Corlys Velaryon and Alan of Hull again in the same shipyard makes me want them to talk to each other anywhere else. I suppose this was done to ease production, but it stands out. Nevertheless, the positives definitely exceed the negatives, which should indicate that House of the Dragon Season 2 is coming to a satisfying conclusion.